Hi everyone, if you're watching a recording, do fast forward about 2 minutes. Getting everything started here. Okay. Woo! It's Monday. Let's see. Just about ready. Okay. It should be the same. So do you see, honey, in the description we have the all the links? Is it there? I'm assuming it's there. I put it there today. Oh, okay. Is that what it is? Is that what happened? Hello out there. It is one more minute. We'll get started if you're watching a recording. Okay. I think I got everything. Should be an easy day today. Should be. Did I actually say that? Did I actually just jinx myself? I think I just jinxed myself. Typical. Typical. Let's see what else we got. We got some enamels. Oh, yeah. Let's get this rolling over here. Get some Penny Bright going. Okay, one more minute and we're gonna get started. We're just, oh, I say that and it turned 1 o'clock. Hey everyone, this is Q Farm Grave with QTalk Live. So, what am I doing? Simulcasting on four websites: YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Today, what are we doing? It is Monday, and it's the last of the Motley Metal series. Yep, we're gonna finish up that series. It's been 8 weeks plus, and a whole bunch of projects. So hopefully everybody enjoyed it along the way. If you have not been following along and still want to get a Motley Metal kit, it is still available on our website at theurbanbeater.com. And as far as the videos are concerned, they are all available on YouTube and on my QTalk Facebook page. So you can always go back and look at the older ones. I don't delete them unless I have a goof like I did yesterday. I apparently went live and didn't know it. That's always bad, but I deleted that anyway. So yes, yesterday, what did you guys do? How was your weekend? I had a great 4 days off. You know me, I really don't take time off, or do I? Well, threw in about 3 hikes over the last 4 days, and yesterday went and literally raked the forest. That's what we do once a month to help out the National Park Service, which is right up the street, and enjoyed the weather out there. And then, of course, I did a little twitching. Some of you guys were there with me yesterday, and that's what I do on the weekends when I can, is a little bit of twitching to work on future projects. So I'm totally excited because yesterday was an absolutely successful day, which, as you know, is not always successful when you sit down at the bench and are working on new projects. So this is what I made yesterday. So excited. So we're going to do that during the next VEC. And I'm sorry, honey? Oh. Sorry, Andy's talking to me. Anyway, so this is for the next VEC, as if we're done with this VEC that's happening this week. So for everybody who hasn't registered or is still unaware of it, virtualevercrafting.com is a virtual event. We're going on our 3rd round, is starting on Wednesday. So we're all excited about that. For everybody else who's registered, hopefully your instructors have contacted you. Yes, I have, except for one class. So I promise today, the last class, you'll get an email from me. Otherwise, you got a whole bunch of emails from me yesterday. That's pretty for me, that's pretty exciting that it's done and I'm ahead and I'm ready to go. So what else is great this week? Virtually Ever Crafting on Friday, we're having our vendor night. So please do join us. Even if you're not a registered student, everyone is welcome. We have vendors from all over the country and a couple from out of the country. So it's an opportunity to go shopping. I realize that most of us did not get to go to Tucson this week. And I know Tucson happened this week. It was really interesting. Hearing reports back that people had a good old time and that the shows were pretty strict about safety protocols. So for me, that's good news, and that's really good news for next year when we go again in February, assuming that we all go again. I am planning on doing that anyway. And anyway, so the vendor night on Friday, 5:30 Central. The link is posted on the QTalk Facebook page. If you want to join us, you do need to register to get in on that Zoom. And by the way, if you were there last time, I know there were some hiccups with Zoom, but we have since figured it out, and you should be able to flow from room to room at this next vendor event. So you don't necessarily need to talk to the host to have her or he move you from room to room. You should be able to just do it from your device. So do make sure that you download the Zoom app so that you can do that easily. All right. So the question came up, is the link that I provided on the Virtually Ever Crafting community page and on Facebook the same as the link that was provided in your emails? The answer is it should be. Unless I screwed something up, it should be the same it should be the same across the board, because there should only be one meeting, right? Do let me know if I screwed it up. Anyway, all right. So Motley Metal, this is the last one. I called it Earth Mound because it just sort of looked like the view of the Earth from outer space. Although that's not the design we'll do today. I mean, well, I'm not going to do blue. I'm going to make a swirly. Okay, and I'll show you how to do it. So let's get started. Here's what you're going to need today. You are going to need a butane torch, because we're doing everything via torch firing. You're going to need an enamel setup. So what is that? A trivet, some sort of a spatula. I'm going to use a fork today. There you go. Something to lift your pieces up with so that you can lift under it. And of course I didn't grab one, but I will. Here we go. We'll put it on that. There you go. Some copper pieces. An awl. A steel awl is going to be beneficial today. You don't want an awl with a plastic on it because it might melt, because we're going to put it directly into the flame today. So this is the same awl that you're using for the bubbles project where we enameled beads. Okay. A brush, some holding agent or clear fire, penny bright to clean your metals with, a hole punch of some sort, whatever your favorite one is, a sifter to sift some enamel, and a pair of fire tweezers, of course, to pick up your pieces. Okay, so that's the basic overall. And of course, enamels. You can use either clear or you can use opaques. I would say that you should use opaques because it's a little bit more, you have more contrast and a little more punch to the color so that it doesn't just blend in together. So definitely want to do that. By the way, because we are now outside of the kit, you may or may not have enough metal, but you should have gotten enough metals where, unless you used it all for the other projects, you should have some pieces laying around to be able to do the project today. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit and show you what's going on. So first things first, I have two different pieces of two different shapes today, just because I can, and I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole in this one first. And I always do a small hole. It's up to you. That's personal preference. And I'm just going to eyeball this, and I'm just going to put it right at the top middle here. Make sure I did that right. Don't get it too close to the edge because you don't want a weak spot, right? Okay, so we're just going to crank that puppy down. And just like so. So I'm going to crank it down till I feel it release. And then I'm going to keep cranking it backwards until it drops out like that. So you want to make sure that you clean your metal pieces, because enameling, if you don't clean your metal, it creates a barrier to the enamel and you won't be able to the enamel won't be able to fuse to the metal, because that's what we're doing. Remember, enamel is basically, or it is, powdered glass, and what we are basically doing is we are fusing the glass to the copper metal. Okay, so here I'm just going to clean this. Bowl of water here on the side and a towel. Okay, so the first one is done. So you can see there's a difference in color. It's nice and clean. You can also clean this, you know, there's all different ways of cleaning this. I would not use the standard copper cleaner that comes at the supermarket, from the supermarket, in the gray containers, because they have a lot of oils in it. We use Penny Bright because it doesn't have any oils in it, and it's 100% biodegradable and food safe ingredients. So you don't have to worry about any any oils in there or anything that's hazardous or poisonous, you know, because the copper cleaners, they may cause cancer. Read the side. It's not a good thing. There we go. So there's the second piece. I'm going to do 2 today so you can see the difference, okay? Let's get rid of that. Okay, so nice and dry. So second step is we are going to counter enamel these. Remember, counter enameling is the process of enameling the back side. This helps the enamel from cracking, okay? So we'll take a brush and a little bit of clear fire or holding agent. Some of you like hairspray, I do not. And we're just going to brush it on. So we're going to do the back side first. Because we are torch firing, we always do the back side first. Do you have to do this step with the clear fire? No, it's a flat piece. We can get away without doing it. It's fine. But it's nice because it doesn't, it keeps the enamel in place so it doesn't shift all over the place, right? Or it doesn't blow away. All right, so here, I'm just going to sift. Remember, sifting starting from the outside, working in a circle towards the middle. That's all, just like that. And then I'm going to gently move it to my trivet. That's what the fork's for, unless you have a spatula. I do like this fork though. Okay, so before I fire that, I'm going to go ahead and sift this other piece and set it aside just to have that done. Remember, I'm gently sifting in a spiral, working from the outside edge towards the middle. And you want the enamel to have full coverage so that you don't see any of the copper peeking through your enamel. Okay, I'm going to just shift this over a little bit. All right, so here with my butane torch, I'm going to fire from underneath right up to it until the surface changes to an orange peel stain. What that means is the surface will look like the surface of an orange peel. So first what's going to happen is it's going to look like dry sand, dry colored sand, and then it's going to look like sugar, the surface of sugar, and then it will look like orange peel. We do not need to get this to a complete gloss state because we're going to flip it over and we're going to be firing on the other side to gloss anyway. So there's no point in doing that. So I want to say hi to everyone out there on Twitch. Thanks for coming by. I'm here almost every Monday and Wednesday. So, except for this week, because this week on Wednesday, we are going to be doing virtual labor crafting. So I'm pretty excited about Wednesday because it's the first time we're doing the VEC shorts, which means they're all 1-hour demos all day long on Wednesday. It's a great way to pick up some technique and some information and get to know an instructor. If you're not familiar with an instructor, it's a great way to get to know them and see if they're worth it, because really for $22 you're not out that much, right? All right, so I'm going to move the next piece on, the teardrop over here, and we're going to fire that one too. And I just placed my diamond shape onto a bench block. That's what I like to cool it with because it has a nice heat sink. If you are not on twitch.tv, you might want to switch over I've been told over and over again that the resolution there is a lot nicer than on Facebook. So you'll get a clearer picture, especially for those of you who are watching this on your television. I think that's pretty cool that you can actually get this up on your TV. If you have Roku, or if your TV isn't so smart, you can get a Roku and it will do it for you too. We did that. Okay, there we go. I think you can see it looks like the surface of an orange peel. There you go. Okay, there it is. Let it cool for a second, and then we're going to clean it again. Because what's happening here is, that's pretty nice and cool. So you can tell we've created fire scale. So you're going to need to remove that too. Okay, we don't enamel on fire scale. Just doesn't work. By the way, if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel for free, and I get paid. So that's one way to show your support. If you're out there and you're finding some value in what you're watching, that would be great. Thanks. By the way, another way too is if you like what you're watching, a great way to show your support is to buy a download. On most of these Mondays, we offer a download for $5 for the instructions, and then you can get something for your money, and then we can keep this going. Okay. Wow. Okay, so nice and clean. We'll do the other one too. So you want to make sure it's really nice and clean. Some people would just clean to about there. Not really. You want to get it all off. So the question is, can you solder 2 pieces of copper together before enameling? The answer is yes, no, but yes, maybe. It depends. If you want pieces to be soldered together for enameling, you have to use eutectic solder or intense heat solder, also known as IT. It's a bit of fickle business. I've done it, but it's not fun. So doable. And eutectic solder is not necessarily the easiest thing to find out there. You definitely cannot use copper solder because it's too much heat for copper solder, and copper solder is such low temp that it'll fall apart. Okay. But what's nice is copper will survive eutectic solder despite the high intense heat. So, okay. Let's go back over here. I'm going to put this away first and throw this piece away. Okay, there we go. So I just have this ring here. It's a lift so that I can get my spatula underneath the piece when I go to lift it off. Okay, so once again, just a bit of clear fire or holding agent. You can use Henrietta's gum, by the way, but that's really expensive and it's not so easy to find. So today's going to be a little bit of an experiment in color. You know how I love to just play with color when I'm doing this. Why not see what kind of disaster I can create? But you know, I've been really lucky the last couple of weeks that my colors have worked out. So what did I reach for today? I reached for, wait, the wrong color. I thought the egg yellow was opaque. It is not. So when you're in the 2000 number range, it is actually transparent. And I was thinking that I reached for an opaque color. So, I know, we'll do marigold again. I know I did marigold last week, but we're going to do it again. I'm going to do it with a different combination this week. I was really wanting to do egg yellow. That sounded like a great color. Okay, so a nice healthy layer working in a spiral and towards the middle. There we are. Okay, and move it over to my trivet, like so. I'm going to put this away. I always put away my enamels as quickly as I can because I don't want the cross-contamination and I don't want the soot from my mesh to blow into my enamels. Then I have black specks. Okay. So here we'll fire again to an orange peel state. And I always fire a little bit off the center of the screen there because I don't want to get into my camera to get in the line of fire. All right, so we're going to heat this up. And just keep it moving just a little bit. You don't have to crazy wave it around like that. That's not helpful. So just a little bit of movement is fine. Put the heat right up to the piece and get that to your orange peel state like so. And again on my bench block, set that aside. And we're gonna grab another piece. I'm gonna do the other one while we're here. Okay. And this time I think I'm gonna go with bitter green. I know. It just, same colors last week because I left it on my bench. I didn't put it away. I know, a little lazy, just a little. But we'll mix it up, I promise. Okay, so this is bitter green 1319. Sift in a circle, spiral, working from the outside towards the middle. I see some bare spots. I'm going to go back and hit on those a little bit, like so. Okay, you can see on my other piece, I didn't get really full coverage. You can see where I went heavier or lighter. You want to practice that a little bit. You would think that I would have practiced that already, huh? I know it seems like my first rodeo. Who knew I was actually a professional doing this? Shocking! All right, we put this enamel away. And we'll fire that too. All the way to orange peel, please. Just like so. Set that aside. And let's grab the other piece. All right, so here's where I'm going to make it a little bit interesting. You can go ahead and sift the entire thing with another color if you want to, but I'm actually going to be a little bit more, what am I thinking? Direct about what I'm doing? Okay, so I'm just going to put dots around. I'm doing 5 dots, and then I'm going to sift iris on here. Because I'm trying to create a design. Remember, we're sort of experimenting today. We'll see if it works. Okay, like so. So I'm going to sift right onto those dots. You see how you can see very quickly where I have put some of the clear fire, like so. And then I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to shake it off. Put this away. Grab another piece of paper. And I'm going to put yet another color on here because I can. Again, just sort of playing and experimenting a little bit with color. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a great result, regardless of my crazy playing here. Wait. Lift it on something. So. And we're gonna sift it. What am I using now? I'm using Sunset 2850. It is a transparent, but it's a pretty intense orange, and I'm just going to put it on the edge. Okay, why am I laughing? Because in my brain earlier this morning when I was thinking about what I wanted to do today, that's not what I wanted to do. But we're gonna go with it because I screwed it up. It sort of looks like a star on the screen there, so we'll go with it. Ta-ha! Oh, the things we do. Okay, so now is where the magic's gonna happen. Fingers crossed. I'm just gonna pick that up with my fingers this time. Okay. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna heat this up, and when it starts getting to that gloss stage, right before when it's orange peel, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to heat my awl. Okay, you don't want to do this with a cold awl because because it's cold and it hits the hot enamel, it'll stick. So if you get it hot, it moves a little bit easier, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. Okay, so torch in your non-dominant hand, awl in your dominant hand. It's a lot more control. So we're going to heat this until it becomes to sugar. We'll start heating, to orange peel. We'll start heating the awl at the same time, and then right when it starts getting gloss, we're going to make our design. Okay. Fingers crossed here. Let's see. Not liking the position of this. There we go. Okay. My tripod's a little short because of where the camera is. I usually like to do it under a 9-inch tripod instead of a 6-inch tripod to give my torch a little bit more room to work with. But it is what it is. Okay, so there's sugar. You can see that. And I've got you see my awl here? I've got my awl in the flame. I'm just heating it along the way because I can. You can see the awl got red. You see that? It's nice and red. And there it is. Okay. I'm so excited. It worked. It did what I wanted it to do. Okay. I made little hearts. So the question is, can you use a soldering pick instead of the awl? I don't know. I haven't tried. I'll grab my soldering pick. We'll do it on the next one. Ooh, so excited. Okay. Give that a tap on. So what I did was it was stuck, so I tapped it onto my bench block. I'm just sitting here waiting for this to cool because I think it looks so cool. Ha! Let's zoom in. Are you going to focus for me? Did I zoom in too far? I zoomed in too far. There we are. See, I got my swirly pattern. By doing the dot, I don't know if any of you have made or worked with like chocolate. You know how they make the cute little heart designs? They do it with on chocolate, with white chocolate, you know? So this is the same concept. So that's why I made the dots, so that I can make these little swirls. Yay! Okay, we'll do it again. That's so fun. Oops. There we go. Cool, right? Okay. I know, this is me being geeky. Tattoos, what tattoos? All right, this one was indeed Iris. So we're gonna move this ring over here. So we'll do another one. And this next one, per the question, I'm gonna try it with my, solder pick. They look like, so the question is, they look like flowers. Could you add leaves? Well, you know, I suppose I could go back and put little dots of green. I'll do that after I do this because I can. You know, I really do like doing I have been enjoying the Motley Metal Mondays because it sort of pushes me to experiment. It's nothing like experimenting live just to see if I fall on my face, right? But here we are. Okay, so I put some clear fire on there, and what color do I want to do now? We shall do, well, we'll do the same color, but this time I'm going to put, oh, that's not good. Wait, is that what I wanted to do? Stop. 2 seconds. I have to think. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to do the dots again. Yeah, lost track of what I was doing. Sorry. There we are. So I'm doing 4 on there this time. And I'm going to sift again the iris. And I'm putting a pretty healthy amount of enamel on there. I want it to be really thick. At least for the dots anyway. Because when I tap it, I want to ensure that I have a good number of dots on there, right? I don't want all of that to just fall off when I tap it. All right, so I'm going to come back here, and this time I'll do what I was going to do the last time. I'm going to put it in the middle. Okay. Just like that. So I'm doing sort of the opposite of what I did last time. So I'm putting that sunset orange in the middle. And I should get a lot better contrast this time than I did last time because really sunset on top of marigold, not so great, right? Okay, I'm gonna put it here. So conveniently, my solder pick got bent. That will make life a lot easier when I go to do this. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my solder pick really quickly here. I'm gonna take my cheap, not my expensive ones, my cheap chain nose, and I'm just gonna clean off some of that solder if there's any on there and anything else that shouldn't be on there. So the question is, no clear fire for the sunset? No, I didn't. I just threw it in the middle. Remember, you don't have to have, because this is a flat piece, you don't have to have any kind of a adhesive, right? It'll stay. It just prevents it, like if you dropped it, it won't stay. But if you had some clear fire on there and dropped it, oh, look, you still have enamel on it. It's more important on curved pieces because enamel won't stick on the sides. So you definitely need some sort of adhesive for curved pieces. Flat pieces, we can totally get away with it. All right, so solder pick. Let's see what happens. Granted, this is a titanium solder pick, okay? It shouldn't stick. And then I guess I could do another one with a regular solder stick or solder pick too, right? I didn't think about it till anyway, sorry. I wasn't thinking. I just grabbed the nearest solder pick. And I also grabbed this one because it had a curve in it. Thought I'd just make my life easy. You know, if you don't have any of these implements, if you get a steel dressmaker's T-pin, you could use it too, and you would just use it on a pair of fire tweezers, right? So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and put my pick in there, you see? I'm going to put my pick in there to get it nice and hot. And it's just about there. Wow. Ooh. No, it's stuck. Okay, yeah. Not liking that. Hold on. Let me get it off of here. No! Okay, try it again. Maybe I didn't get this hot enough. So I'm going to get my pick a little hotter. Maybe I didn't get it hot enough. Okay, it works, but oh, you can see what's happening here. It's really challenging. All right, so that was an experiment. That was not great. Okay, we're sort of stuck. Hold on a second. I'm gonna throw it in some water, even though I tell you all the time, never ever quench your enamel, but we're experimenting, and I did that just because I could to get this moving. Okay, so I'm not completely convinced that a solder pick doesn't work. I want to do this again, so bear with me. Actually, you know, I'm gonna go get a regular solder pick, not a titanium one, and see what happens. Hold on, I don't have one here. I have it over there, so I'll be right back. Okay, but wait, but wait. I know, some of you guys figured out why I turned off my camera, right? Anyway, okay, so this is just a regular solder pick. Not completely clear what it's made of. I'd have to do some lookup, but it's just sort of an inexpensive, I think, $3 or $4, right? So I'm gonna go right back in here again, and I'm gonna get the solder soft again. And I'm gonna start heating my pick immediately, because this is a much thicker piece of metal, and see what happens. Okay, so see, it's already red. A little more red. But the enamel wasn't quite ready. It's a little harder to tell because it's already at the gloss state. So take a second here. Okay, I'm gonna say maybe. It's a bit challenging, so maybe with the solder pick. Okay, play with it a little bit. It sort of works. All right, we're stuck again. There we go. So there it is. All right. We'll throw it on the bench block, let it cool. We'll see what it looks like here in a second. And I'm going to, oh, do I want a bit of green? I'm going to grab some green enamel and see if we can put some leaves on there. Why not? Okay, I'm going to do it with blue. Just because I got tired of looking already. All right, so there we are. So you can see where it was sort of a bit of a mess to work with, that the enamel really stuck to the solder pick. But I feel like if I was a little bit more patient and heated that solder pick longer, it might have been a little bit easier. So, but give it a try. It's not the worst thing. Now, the other thing that happened too, I don't know if you can see that dark spot right there. That's residue from my solder pick. So that's not a good thing either. So you do want to make sure, if you want to use your solder pick, you do want to make sure that you clean that up. Okay, So here we're going to do a little bit of experimenting. The question was, can we put leaves on here? Okay, let's give it a try. I'm going to need a teeny weeny, there we go. I'm going to, just a much smaller paintbrush. And we're just going to dip it into the holding agent. Okay, and grab a teeny bit. You see that? Okay, maybe you don't. It's a little small, isn't it? Okay. By the way, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to throw them out there. Andy is relaying them for me. I don't necessarily see your chats and your questions. He's on all 4 channels managing all of your questions, okay? And I definitely can't see who's asking what unless he actually tells me. Okay, so put a little bit of, a little bit of clear fire on the tip. So I just put a little bit on the tip there, and then I put it into my enamel and just grab a tiny little bit and put it on here, like so. Okay. Try not to use too much, it gets all over the place. I'm liking these colors. Not my usual, but it's working pretty well. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some in the middle, just because I can. There we go. Okay. Set this aside. I'm going to go back to my awl though, my steel awl, because that's working for me pretty well. Where to go? There it is. Okay. I feel like these are very psychedelic colors. I don't know why, but this reminds me of the 70s, this one. All right, let's heat it up. Let's see where we go with it. You can see already how wet my enamel was, and ouch. And how it's drying up. That was bad. Duh. Okay, so I'm heating my awl now. I'm going to swirl the middle first. Not quite there yet. We're working on 3 layers of enamel. It's going to take a minute. And every color of enamel has its own flow rate, so almost. So what I just put on is the color Peacock. So I'm just swirling it just to see what would happen. Change my mind a little bit. Again, just playing. This does take a really light touch, FYI. See, like I went a little too aggressive there. Okay, that's it. So, yeah, that's okay. So I don't know if that answers your question about adding a leaf. We'll see when this cools off just a little bit. Give it a tap if it's stuck on something hard. And there we go. Yeah, it was not great. I sort of muddied it up, made it sort of yucky, but you could go back, put little dots on there to create a leaf, I suppose. Okay, that's it. That's me in a nutshell. The only difference in what I did with this design versus this one, clearly I had more enamel in there. Instead of just the dots, I went ahead and sifted in a bit of a circle, and I really swirled it and swirled it and swirled it until I got that design. So that's the big difference. That's all. But that's it. I hope you thought that was fun and sort of interesting, right? By the way, don't forget VCs this week. If you are an Amazon subscriber, you can subscribe to the twitch.tv channel for free, and I get paid. Thank you. And outside of that, we will not be back on Wednesday because of VEC. We will be back on Monday. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. So on Monday, we're starting a new series called Mix It Up Mondays. So the kits are available, and every week we are going to change it out. So this is an interchangeable bracelet. So every week we will change out this middle part and make a new project for it. And if you are, so we're going to go with a cold connection, an enamel piece, a wired piece, and a soldered piece. Okay. And this one, if you have, I threw in a bonus to your kits. It was not listed as something that you were going to get, but we're going to try making a bangle too. And that is what, if you ordered a kit, that's what came in there, and that's what we will do and see if we can get that to work. But there we are. So that's starting on Monday for the next, I don't know, 4 weeks or so. We'll go from there. And of course, we are heading towards our 100th project this next week called Reliquary. And we are doing this as a Zoom short, which means the Zoom is free. You can buy the kit, or you can just join us on the Zoom and watch along. The link is available on the QTalk Facebook page, and the kits are available on theurbanbeater.com. It's not going to be a bracelet. It will be a necklace, but look, you open it up and there's a little message on the inside. You can have a heart, you can stamp something out, whatever. Anyway, I just love this project. I don't know why, but it just amuses me. I've been sitting around playing with this every time I sit on the workbench. But this is Reliquary 100, and it is our 100th project. We're going to celebrate that, not this week, but next week, because VEC is this week. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Today is Monday, and it has been and will be a great rest of the